Alright, hey everyone, it'll be another video. It is 2025 and there's been I just pushed some pretty big changes on how Kolbot is going to be set up, and this is going to be going over what to do now. I am going to highly recommend that the way you download Kolbot now be through GitHub Desktop or by Git directly. I'm going to try to be as comprehensive in this video to go over what has changed and how to stay moving forward. The biggest parts that I want to cover immediately. So when you download Kolbot, no matter what you do, the first thing you're going to need to do is run the setup batch file. And this is now also included down here. If you do not run the setup batch file, Kolbot will not work. The reason that I've added this is because what this does is it copies these files here. It's like while it loads the important, your profile JSON, your keys, and your an INI file. The reason I did this is because there's been multiple occasions in the past where I've found people who have accidentally uploaded their CD keys, or they've uploaded their profiles, and that included their account passwords, and it's like that happened because those files were included in the included with Kolbot, and you edit them, and if you accidentally committed that to like your forked repository, then it's up there. So what this does is this data folder is actually now empty. This is why Kolbot will crash if you don't run the setup batch file, because there's nothing here. And the files, once they are here, will no longer be tracked. As long as you are not uploading changes to this folder, you no longer run the risk of accidentally uploading your CD keys. So also, if you've come across the instance where you've accidentally corrupted your INI file by having too many profiles running, you now have a easy to reach copy of it. This will always be here. So that is the big change here. So the first thing you're going to want to do after you download the dependencies, download the dependencies, do this first, is to then run the batch file. Cool. The second big change that I just did was now SoloPlay is included as a submodule of Kolbot. So you no longer have to go download the SoloPlay folder and drop it into your Kolbot. It is automatically included as long as you are downloading with GitHub Desktop. If you download with Git, you have to run an extra command to recursively download the submodules. That's more advanced. Please just use GitHub Desktop. Now, I know this has been a long spiel. I just really want to hammer that point. That those two things. One, make sure that when you download this, you run the batch file. Two, you should really be using GitHub Desktop. Now, let's show you how to actually use it. So, come here. This is going to be same as done in the past. Copy. Cool. Now, let's go to GitHub Desktop. Now, I have one already here, but I'm going to show you how to do a new one. So, click up on here, File. Let's clone the repository. Boom. So you can see, this is going to be the path where it goes to, and I am going to say clone. It does take a minute. I mean, this is actually also slower because I'm on a VM, but wait for this to finish. Boom. Now let's go over to Visual Studio Code. And as I said in the intro, this data folder is empty. So therefore, I'm actually not entirely sure what's exactly going to happen if I try to run this. It's just probably going to crash. Yeah. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do ta-da! Okay, you see? This got populated. Alright, so now it works. And as you should be able to see it, but these are colored a darker color. This means they are not being tracked. And I will also just show you here. So I'm going to add a test profile. Let's just... So I will show you a profile has been added, but nothing is being tracked here. No additions. So now you can have all your profiles, all your keys, everything here without having to worry that it's going to want to be uploaded. Now, the second part of this, because, obviously, you all know me. I do solo play, so that's obviously going to be what I want to talk about. Solo play now exists here, so we can very easily now, without having to do anything else, because you just saw all I did was a new fresh profile, or a new fresh download. Let's go solo play sort 1, because that's just always what we do, what I do. I don't know what you all do. See? This exists as well. Single player, cool. Check it out. We are up and live. This is your standard thing. You did not have to do anything extra to get solo play in here. It just comes with Kolbot now, and I really hope this makes everything easier. I've been thinking about this honestly for a while, and I will admit to being hesitant because because it's a big change, having to require this step and having to then add solo play, and I hope I can go ahead and close this. Cool. I hope this was really, really easy for you to follow. Again, I'm highly recommending that the way you download this is by using GitHub Desktop. Now, I will, for anyone who wants to leave, that's cool, to cover the main parts of this. The second part I'm going to cover now is, okay, so say you still want to just download the zip. Oh, yeah. Obviously, gotta wait for it to open. Yeah, sure. Cool. I will just go ahead and extract this to the desktop. So here we go. This is the zip file that I just downloaded. So you'll notice something different here. LimeDrop is not available. And SoloPlay is also not available. So if you want to do this, to download the zip, which I really don't recommend, because obviously you have the zip now and it's not updated. But still required, still need to run the batch file. But what you'll notice here is as long as you dun, dun, dun. Right. Okay, so you'll have to get init this if you want that to work. Yeah, okay, but which again don't recommend. So please just don't download the zip. It's just not the way to do this. I could show you how to do that, and I thought the way I wrote the setup batch file would work, but obviously, as I just showed, it does not. Actually, I think that's really all I have left. I will include the link to download GitHub Desktop. If you have any questions, concerns, etc., leave comments, let me know. I'm always in Blizz Hackers, so pop in, or if you are in my own server, go ahead and ask questions. I really hope this makes things much simpler going forward. I've just seen so many people struggle in order to get this right, and obviously I want to try to make sure you all don't upload your data by accident. Anyway, take care, everyone.